Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at the pitching for today, the 7th of September. We do have a 10-game main slate ahead of us today for this Sunday action of baseball, week 1 of NFL, but we have baseball as well. Plenty of money to be won out there. So we're going to take some time to go over some pitching options. This is a first look at the pitching options on the slate. And I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you do play on FanDuel, I'll cut my pool in half or so. Pricing isn't quite as tight. You don't have to be as creative. It allows you to get stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. Now with all that said and done, let's switch over to the weather quick. Slight rain chances in Tampa Bay again. But that one's not on the main slate, so we should be alright there. Slightly blown in Pitt and Baltimore. Slightly out in New York. It's kind of a good thing to see. Slightly out in Detroit. In Cincinnati. In Chicago. In St. Louis. Slightly out in Kansas City. Overall, temperatures in the 70s in most places. I would say, I don't know, most of the games I think would lean a little bit pitcher friendly. Not that any of them stand out, by a ton, but still, a lot of them lean towards the pitchers. So we have that in our back pocket, to kind of look at different games and the environments going on. First game on the slate, Dodgers and Orioles. Dodgers lost a heartbreaker on Saturday night. Yamamoto with a no-hitter through 8 2/3. Gives up a weak solo home run that should have been robbed, I will be honest. And then the bullpen comes in to blow the 2-run lead to lose 4-3 in the ninth. All that with 2 outs in the ninth. Tough one. We get Kershaw on the mound. Orioles struggle a lot against left-handed pitching, but is Kershaw a pitcher that can take advantage of that? I'm not so sure. He's fine. Just one home run allowed in 45 1/3 road innings. Pretty impressive number for a guy like Kershaw. I think he's viable. I just don't love it. If he ends up in my pool, it's basically as the last man in at this point. The other side, Chigano. Kind of keep waiting for him to kind of replicate his dominance like he did against the Yankees early in the season out of nowhere. He's had a couple mid-20s performances, but I'm just not ready to use him against the Dodgers, even if the Dodgers are kind of scuffling. Toronto and the Yankees. Max Fried, definitely somebody I want to use. He's kind of bounced back the last 3 starts. Basically 23-plus fantasy points in each of them. Walks have been up a little bit. But just 1 run allowed in 2 out of the 3 starts. 1 or fewer in all 3. Just 4 hits allowed in each of those 3 starts. He hasn't been the best against Toronto on the season. Now, that's obviously a worry. Toronto doesn't strike out all that much. And they can get pretty right-hand heavy, which kind of plays into their favor. Traditionally, I think Fried was more of a bit more of reverse splits, but I think those have kind of stabilized over the last couple years. 17 fantasy points in this one. 6.5 and then 5, basically. Just nothing great. His numbers overall are better at home, which is where he's at in this game. I think I'm going to consider him. I'm just not sure I want to get there. He's kind of just a big question mark for me. On the other side, Scherzer, a couple days rest, extra rest. Strikeouts have been fine against the Yankees, but he's allowing home runs. He's been better away on the road, but still, this ballpark, just not ideal. 15 home runs allowed in 70 innings. It's a pretty large number. So, against the Yankees team that hit a lot of home runs, I just don't think I can get to Scherzer. Milwaukee and Pittsburgh. Mizorowski. He's all over the place We just don't know if he's going to throw 70 pitches or 90 pitches. If he's going to strike out 10 or 3, 4. He did absolutely dominate the Pirates the first time he faced them, and was that his major league? That was his third start. He has struggled mightily on the road, like more than mightily. 15 runs allowed in 18 2/3 innings. Strikeouts have been there, but so have the walks, even more so. With that said, like the matchup is just so strong, and the upside is there that I'm gonna have to use him. I just hope that he doesn't get to be a super chalky, like 30-35%. Because that's where I get afraid of being way too heavy on a guy that's super volatile the way that he is. On the other side, Bubba Chandler, one of the big-time prospects in all of baseball from the pitching side of things. 4 innings in each of his 3 appearances. Slated to make a traditional start here, which I don't think he's done in either of these 3 appearances. I think he's kind of followed. Might still be somewhat limited pitch count. I'm not sure. We could see 80 pitches. We could see 75. It's a tough matchup, but he's super talented. I'm probably going to play the wait and see game. See if he can get his strikeouts to spike up. He definitely has the stuff. He just hasn't shown big K ability at the major league level yet. But he's definitely somebody I'm super intrigued by, and I want to pay attention to that start. Met Cincinnati. Hunter Green, somebody that I am going to use. He's been absolutely ridiculously dominant at home this season, which is wild considering, the ballpark is obviously a hitter's park. It is a tougher matchup, so there are worries there, right? Like, when he struggles, it's walks, and really it's the home run ball. And the Mets can hit plenty of home runs, but Hunter Green just has so much upside that I'd much rather use him than Max Fried, for example, on this slate. The other side, Brandon Sproat, getting a call up to make his major league debut. For some reason, I thought he had pitched at the major league level last year, but maybe not. Really strong. Has a chance to stick around, which is really nice to see for a young guy. K upside's there. Cincinnati can strike out a lot, so I will gladly use Sproat at that price tag. $5,900, I believe it was. Yeah, gladly use him in that spot. White Sox, Detroit. Might be able to use Charlie Morton. He did dominate the White Sox the one time he faced them this year. His second half numbers just have to be super solid overall, because obviously you know what his first month numbers were like. So all of his negative numbers have kind of normalized throughout the season. White Sox not the ideal team to pick on. Not that they're anything special by any means, but they just keep pestering our pitching. And it's really annoying. But with that said, like, Morton's absolutely dominated once this year. I don't mind going back to him in the spot. I don't love it, but I definitely am going to utilize him. Philly, Miami, 2 pitchers that I'm not using. Mazer, just no thank you. I'll pass. Taijuan Walker, probably could, I guess could be alright against Miami. He's made 2 appearances against them, just 1 hit allowed in 5 innings. It's just not exciting. There isn't a lot of K upside. Gives up home runs. It's just not the best spot. It's a decent ballpark, but still, he's just not a pitcher I want to rely on, especially on a 10-game slate. Minnesota, Kansas City. Bailey Ober gives up a lot of home runs. Over his last 10 starts, he's given up 20 home runs. 20. He's been really solid against Kansas City. Strikeout numbers haven't been there, but overall been solid, but still. 20 home runs in his last 10 starts. 20 home runs. Has multiple starts of 4 home runs allowed over the last 10. Yeah. So, like, there's just been a lot of home runs allowed, and I'm just not going to rely on Bailey Ober. Michael Lorenzen on the other side, he's decent. We used him a lot here. Wasn't bad. Just missed out on picking up a W. Obviously, one mistake in there. One start against Minnesota was really strong. Beat them. Just 3 strikeouts, but still. A guy that traditionally had absolutely dominated left-handed bats. I don't believe that's the case this year, but if he can flash back to that, Minnesota should be somewhat left-hand heavy. His numbers at home have been better, so that's where he's at in this one. I'm probably going to use Lorenzen, and it feels gross, but I think he's one of those guys that probably gets us 18 to 22, and I think is in play as an SB2 on this slate. Next game, San Francisco, St. Louis. Sonny Gray, man, he's all over the place. Got absolutely lit up by the A's. Really strong against Pittsburgh. Timeout before that, didn't pick up the win. Lost the win, I think. Actually got the L. I thought there was something later in the game that he might have given up the 2 runs due to, and then one of them due to the air after he was up 1-0. But his numbers at home, better-ish. ERA are, but his whip and average against are not. I know last year he was really strong at home for St. Louis. He's in play just because I don't think San Francisco is all that dangerous, but still, Sonny Gray just bothers me. Just can't seem to get him, completely correct. So, but he will be in my pool on this slate. Tang went into Coors and threw a pretty good game. Now, obviously, he got a K bump in that matchup. He doesn't get that same kind of K bump in this one, so I'm going to pass on Tang against St. Louis. Washington, Chicago, wind blowing slightly in. Nice to see. Colin Ray, he's fine, but like the one time he faced Washington, 0 strikeouts. There just isn't a lot of K upside, so I think we're fine passing on him following an opener. Andrew Alvarez was decent in his debut. A pretty solid outing against Miami, but the Cubs are definitely a bit better than Miami. With that said, with the wind blowing in, maybe. I just don't think I can get there. There'd be one I'll have to think about, but I don't want to believe that he can go into Wrigley and shut down the Cubs. Last game on the slate, Framber Valdez, who just likes to tear our hearts out. He's just been bad since the beginning of August. One strong start in there, but some really bad ones, which is wild because he had, 2 elite starts towards the end of July. It's just all over the place. With that said, he's absolutely dominated Texas. I believe twice. Yeah, basically 25 and 30 fantasy points in the 2 starts against Texas. He's on the road where he's not at his best, but still, I'm going to go back to him. I'm going to keep going there in matchups that stand out. I'm willing to take the chances with Valdez. Could backfire, that's for sure. Patrick Corbin on the other side, 2 starts ago, 35.6 fantasy points. Turn back the hands of time. Patrick Corbin shows up, gets it done. Next start, he allows 3 home runs and goes more modern day Patrick Corbin. He is better when he's at home, for sure. So that's obviously a strong start. A home run every almost 11 innings at home, as compared to one every 4.7 innings, roughly, on the road. I think Corbin's in play. I don't love it against a very right-hand heavy lineup, but I want to dig into that matchup a little bit more. But for right now, I'll put him as a borderline play for me. Well, there we have it. There's our first look at pitching. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., I will put links in the description below. You can use promo code KICKOFF2025 for 20% off your VIP membership for life. 20% off. That's our best promo code yet. I think it actually ends today at some point. So you'll want to take advantage of that. As always, I'll drop a link in the description for our merch store. You can check out my hoodie, some of the other offerings we do have. Best of luck, everybody.